Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to this edition of the Rocky Road to Success. Today, our guest is Dr. Friday Moses, and he works with Zenith Bank, and he's in Delta State, Nigeria. Welcome to the program, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yinka.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time, and we hope your story will inspire others. So yeah. I want to start by, asking you, where do you, how would you describe your beginnings?
Okay. Okay, thank you once again, Mr. Yinka. By God's grace, I had a very humble beginning from a family of, peasantry, not too much of education from my father, mother, but they are committed, they are into trading. They've traded in the East, in the West, and so forth. But because of the focus they have, since they did not have much of education, so they decided to make sure that their children will go to school, at least the average level. So they were able to give us, at least to my university level. I studied economics. When I saw the background I was from, which I know is an humble background, the first son in my family, so I became also serious in my education. I did secondary school, I did primary school in the West, precisely in Oyo State, Ogbomoso in Oyo State. I went further to the same Ogbomoso. I went to Federal Government College. They made sure, because as at then, Federal Government College as a unity school was one of the best schools in Nigeria. They made sure I enrolled. I came up top in the qualifying exam. I entered school, but the school, yes, I did best to make sure I entered the federal government. It was the pride of the nation as at that time.
Yes, I
did that between 1980 and 1986. So in fact, school those days, when big men are coming to school to see their children in boarding school for visiting, they with their cars. My parents don't come, nothing, but I was just there focused to do my thing there. So I also came up top as one of the best students in secondary school.
Okay.
Yes, from there, I entered secure admission straight hand to university. I entered joined University of Ilorin to study economics. And that's at 1992, 93. I entered to study economics, and which was a course I desired to study. And I did best. I was the only 2-1 in my department, 1997 set. I was the only 2-1 out of a class of.
Okay. What school did you go to, sir?
University of Ilorin.
Oh, Ilorin.
Yes.
It's funny. It's funny.
Yes.
My brother went to Federal Government College in Ogbomoso.
Wow. Which time?
I don't know. He was, he's about 6 years older than me, but so I'm very familiar with what you're talking about. I lived in Ilorin for many years. So please go on.
I'm of the 92 set Federal Government College. So I went to Ilorin. From there, I also came out as the best student in my department and the only living 2-1 then. So
nice.
From there, yes, I went to youth service. I was supposed to be retained to lecturing, but I chose, because when I got to youth service in Adamawa State, I was posted to a bank to serve. So I just saw a bank is better for me because of the course I read. I didn't choose the option of lecturing.
Okay.
Although as time goes on, I regretted some moves, but I just felt, yes, I regret. I thought lecturing could have been better. So I joined banking. I served in bank. From there, I moved further. I joined another bank. I moved further. I joined another bank. You can see the profile there. I started from UBA. I joined NUB International Bank. I went to Citizen International Bank. From then, I joined Zenith Bank that I am today. So, but within this period, I was able to do some professional courses. And one of them was that I did my MBA in Delta State University, specialized in financial management. And I did a lot of catalog of professional examination. Since I know that I'm in the finance and business world, I did a lot of them, both foreign and local. I became a fellow of great institutions until in 2017, I started my PhD program in credit management, and it all finished after 2.5 years. In 2019, I convocated. And so since then, it wasn't an easy task because I was working. Then I've risen from banking from the low level to the managerial level I am today. I was able to combine that. I was able to combine academics. I love schooling. I love schooling. My system, within the last 3-4 months, I've done like 3 certificate programs in international universities. Presently, as I'm talking now, I'm doing macro economics variables and factor market in University of Illinois, USA. I'm doing is a 6-7 weeks certificate program. So the moment I face my PC, I look for something to do. So I'll be able to get so many certifications in financial world and the rest. So it has not been busy. I like reading. I like doing research a lot. I like studying. I just like presently I'm into business coaching, and because of the financial experiences I've had to lecture. I've coached over 1,000 persons in churches, in our environment. People invite me there and there to talk to actually growing of small businesses and management of investment and money management generally. I've written 2 or 3 numbers of books. The recent one is a money management textbook that was introduced to primary education in Nigeria, and some states have started getting approval in some states. So presently we've gotten approval in Delta State as part of their curriculum, money management studies. Yes, our intention is to make sure that money management is part of primary school education in Nigeria.
Yes, it's very important.
Yes, we have submitted a proposal to Universal Basic Education headquarters in Abuja, so that when it's approved, it will be nationwide. So we just want to change the narratives when it comes to business, when it comes to money management, and when it comes to investment in Nigeria.
Thank you very much. You've gone through everything very quickly, and what I've been able to pick out as you were going is that you were someone who took education seriously right from the get-go. Was there any reason why you felt like, what was your inspiration for giving your best to school? Because some of us, we just, I struggled with getting into school, and all of that, and it was really hard for me to focus.
What the sole reason is that, you see, self-development is so powerful. Nobody can take self-development away from you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, even those certificates we have, they can't take it from you.
Sure.
But
sure.
they can't take yourself from you, the knowledge you have acquired. And you can't be sleeping and those knowledge will come. You must go for it.
No.
So the knowledge, you see, when you come out, you can bear me witness. Even when you watch television, when you see some great men speaking, you'll be happy with yourself. You'll be happy that this person is talking. He's talking out of somewhere. He didn't talk, you didn't talk out of nothing. So I love self-development a lot. I love people when they talk out of product, when they talk out of creativity, when they talk out of experience. I'm happy. So what actually made me to go into academics is personal self-development. Nobody can take it away from you anywhere you are, even where you are working. If they are sacking everybody, when they see you, they might not be able to touch you because you
have just hit the nail on the head.
Yes, because you are an entity yourself.
Yes, sir.
They will not want to lose you because when you speak out of knowledge.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct.
It's not easily found in the market.
Yes,
so
sir.
personal development to me is important. But it's unfortunate that nowadays people move about with fine hairstyle, with fine clothes, but when somebody speaks or when somebody is given one task or one knowledge assignment, you see that the person is empty.
So
Yeah.
yes, I happen to agree with you, but you know, I learned it the hard way. You really have to put in some effort into differentiating yourself in life. Like you have said, it doesn't, if you know, if life wants to throw bad things at you, like if they even want to fire you at your workplace, they don't have anything to work with because you know you've made yourself literally indispensable. So for those who struggle with the workplace, you know, my boss doesn't like me, you know, things are tough. The things that you can control are what you should worry about, which would include continuing to develop yourself. You know, in the end, you know, the trivial stuff will take care of itself. So thank you for that, sir. The other thing that came across my mind as you were talking was, you know, you have a normal job that has its demands. You know, you work from morning till evening and you have a lot of responsibilities. So how and where do you get the energy to put in the extra effort after you get home, you know, to do all these things? Because people struggle with that. People just want to like, ah, fine, I'm done for the day, you know, let me go and relax. So what's the secret behind that, you know?
Like I to determine when it's called self-development, it means that there should be an energy, there should be a time, a desire. Now, when people come and tell you that how is it possible? It's not. There's no time. I can bet you they also have time for other things.
I know.
People have time for things. Over the weekend, people go to bar, people go to joint, people go to club. Now, do you know people can sit before the television and watch series? And now they will tell you there's no time. Now, there's no time, quite all right, but you need to create time out of no time. Those leisure time that you wait, those leisure time that you watch football, those leisure time that you go clubbing, you can also make use of those times. I'm telling you, not that we don't create time for pleasure, not that we don't create time to rest, no. But let me tell you, people also create time for nonsense things.
Well,
So
yeah,
if
I
it's
like
called,
this.
yeah, if it's called self-development, that means you must create time when there's no time.
Yes, sir. Yeah, you
Remember
have to
that, for
prioritize it.
example, a lady, for example, can go to salon and spend 3 hours. A guy, for example, can go to maybe a viewing center to watch football and watch 3 hours. And you come back, you say there's no time. There are time. It's the allocation of time that is the problem. It's the allocation of time. So you struggle out of it because let me even tell you, as the age goes by, you will discover that there will be an age you get to, you can't move further. You don't have strength to do a lot of things. So now that you are still below that age, it's better you do a lot of things.
Yes,
So
sir.
that you can have time for other things. So I feel it's allocation of time that is a great challenge, not that there is no time. Yes.
And the other part of things is, you know, sometimes you want to develop yourself, right? But not only is there the time factor, there's also the financial factor. So how have you been able to overcome that? You know, because it's going to cost you something besides the time to get further education. So how have you been able to somehow take care of your family, take care of yourself, get all this education, you know, and still, you know, stay afloat? You know, how does it all tie together? I don't know if you can shed some light on that.
Okay. It has not been easy though, but I must still tell you that there's when you have a goal, when you have a passion for something and you are going, you have a target, Now, the first thing you need to do is to imbibe the act of saving, is to cut a lot of expenses to make sure that, just like a normal human being that need to save money to buy a car. Now, during the period of you saving money to buy a car, you forgo some other expenses. If you are planning to get married, for example, towards the preparation for marriage, you have to forgo a lot of things. If your junior one calls you for some money, you can tell them, don't you know I have something at hand? Now, when it comes to this, the little money you earn, you make sure you appropriate them. You make sure you manage those funds because you have a goal. You have what you want to achieve. So you deny yourself a lot of other pleasure to make sure you achieve what you want to achieve. Yeah, so the money might not be 100% available, but you still have priority. You still have things like I do some courses online now. I can register for those courses with 30,000, 40,000. I will do it. I might not go for courses of 1 million, 2 million. I will do the little I can do. Let it be that I'm acquiring knowledge.
Okay, sir. Okay,
you
so that makes sense.
Yeah, so I think it's the management of your resources that matter the most.
But,
like
but sir,
said,
you know, everybody is not an economist like you. You know that, right?
Yes, everybody is not an economist. But let me advise. Because the most important thing, apart from serving God and every other thing we do in our life, money making, money venture is also important.
Mm-hmm.
So even when you are not an economist or not an accountant, you must learn the art of earning money. You must learn the art of managing money. You must learn the art of sustaining money. So it's important. If you continue to say you are not an economist, you are not an accountant, that so if money comes, what happens? You squander it. You will live in penury. So it's important that we learn the art of management because money is so important. Whether you are a trader, you are an engineer, you are a doctor, whatever you have, the money that you are going to make, the money you are going to manage, you are going to sustain is important. So it is part of life generally. It's not every economist that can save. It's not every economist that can make money. No.
I know. I studied economics myself. It's like this. I know. It's easier said than done.
Like I said, you have a goal. Just like if you want to build a house, you need to plan towards the house.
Mm-hmm.
You need to do some kind of restructuring in your finances to make sure the fund is available to do the project. So studying academically is also a project stuff, which you need to plan towards.
Yes, sir. I agree. I agree. And I hope our viewers are understanding that, you know, it is your responsibility to make time out of no time, to make money available out of no money, so that you see the changes that you desire in your life. Thank you for that insight, sir. The other thing that I would have liked to ask is, can you tell us some of the ways that all this your education, has helped you in the workplace?
Okay, one, it has helped me in terms of placement. It has helped me in terms of positioning. Yes, even the present ones I'm doing now, I'm doing it forecasting that future positioning will come.
Right, okay.
Yes, so there's some position you might be aiming to get to. Some certain knowledge, some certain requirement is needed to attain those positions. Apart from that, in the society, again, there are some things you need to achieve personally in the society that require some kind of education. Now, the workplace might not be forever. I might also decide to leave the work and set up something. So in line with what I want to set up, in line with the business I want to go into, I should be able to have knowledge that's tailored towards that business aspect. So it helps you to do your personal things, to enhance yourself. Like I told you from the beginning, is purely self-development. For example, even if you want to change job to maybe a better job somewhere, there are certain requirements that is needed. When you want to attend the interview, there are certain questions they will ask you. So it actually helps in placement actually helps in positioning. It actually helps in future career advancement. It also helps in personal business establishment. It helps you a lot. For example, I'm tending towards being into consultancy. Okay. Now, if I want to do proper consultancy in finance, in business, I must get some requirements. And some of the requirements is certifications in finance line, business line, economics line, things that will make me that when I'm talking to people, I'll be talking out of something. I'm talking out of knowledge. So it is important that this helps you in placement. It helps you, you must live ready. And the best way to live ready, yes, the best way to live ready is to have that. Somebody can even call you, give you a call and say, well, the governor of our state is looking for somebody in this field. And I remembered you. Do you have this? And you tell the person you have this, you have this. They can tell you, send your CV, and you might be qualified. And remember, if you don't have that knowledge, even part of the qualification, you can also be sent to the Senate or the House of Assembly for proper interview. Some of these questions, some of this knowledge-based interview will come up because they want to get the right person to the right position. So if you don't have some of those knowledge, you'll floor yourself.
Yes, sir. Okay, I think there's no way I can argue with that. It makes sense for you to position yourself for the future, as well as for the present. Okay, so I want to go to a more sensitive area now. Can you tell us, let me say, in your career, what was like the biggest challenge you've ever faced in the workplace? Have you ever had some difficult times?
Yes, there are times, especially in terms of growth and advancement.
Okay.
When you feel you have worked enough to earn a promotion, when you feel you have worked enough to earn a pay rise, and it's not coming forth. Right. So at times you get downcasted. You are worried.
Oh, I know.
But soon it will come. But you just feel that this thing is slow. Maybe somebody, maybe your peer or your colleague somewhere is growing faster. So you just feel challenged. And that's why some people are tempted to change job.
Mm.
Like if you see my part now, you see that I changed to 1 or 2, 3 banks. Yeah. Maybe some 4 banks, I feel that, no, this thing is not working. Let me go elsewhere. So those are the greatest challenge, growth. You understand?
So are you saying you've always handled it by just changing organization, or sometimes you've just stayed?
No, you just stay, like I said. Like the last place I am now, I've been in Zenith since 2003.
Okay.
That's over 18 years.
That's a long time.
That's 18 years, yes. Yeah. And it's the best place to be for me for now. I didn't need to change job. I've enjoyed the best of my career. It's one of the biggest banks in Africa, in Sub-Sahara, the biggest in Nigeria. So I've been there. Yes, they are up and down, but just look around and say, where else? It's better I stay here. So yeah, not the ones I had before joining the Zenith Bank. It has been managed by good managers, by good system. The structure is perfect. So I have not seen any reason yet to leave. So it's still the best, even in terms of pay. I've seen that. I've tried to look as to as okay, it's better I stay here. The devil, better than the.
Yeah, well, I believe you're an asset to them, so I don't think they'll go wrong with that. So thank you for sharing some of that with us. So I'm going to bring in another subject. I won't say it's far from what we're talking about, but the issue of how do you go about getting, the increased knowledge. Would you say that for you, when you pick up a book to study, it's easy, or you have to discipline yourself, try to focus and get the knowledge? It's not easy to get. Would you say it's easy for you, or you have to struggle like Like,
yes, it's actually not easy. Like I said, you have a lot of other things you are struggling to do.
there you go. Mm-hmm.
You have pleasure, you have pain, and you have gain. So you need to choose between pleasure, gain, and pain. So these three things,
Interesting.
if there's a knowledge you need to acquire, maybe you want to solve the internet, you want to read a book, maybe there's a new word somewhere you need to digest. And you have television, you have your football, you have your sleep, you have friends will come around, you have your clubbing, you have a lot of things to deal with. So you need to sacrifice some pleasure and to gain something. Now, in the period of gaining, there will be pain. You need to do away to something. So it's not easy. Like I said from the beginning, see, passion drives you to achieve success. Yes, so, and the internet is also a great tool. I use my phone, I use my iPad, any word I come across, this, okay, maybe I just heard blockchain. Now that blockchain word that I've heard, I must digest the internet and make sure I become a tutor. I become a teacher on that subject matter.
Nice.
I would digest the internet. Even when you are telling me it's not important, so you tell me, okay, the Nigerian government has banned cryptocurrency, but it is in America and the rest. I need to go to internet and find out what is it all about. Okay, why is it banned? Why are some people doing it? I want to know so that I will be in the position of knowledge. You understand? So, and for you to do
makes
that,
sense. Yeah.
Yes, I can be in office, I can be in a meeting, yet on my phone, I'm trying to find out some things. I'm trying to, especially things that has to do with financial matter. Okay. In fact, in my phone, I have a financial dictionary. Any word that I hear, any investment language, any business jargon, I want to know it, I want to digest it. I don't want it to go by. So in the period of you doing some of these things, you have to forego a lot of pleasure. Even now that I'm talking to you, it's about 9:30 Nigeria time. I need to forego resting. I need to forego some sleep because I know it's important for me to be in this chat.
And we appreciate that.
It is. So it's not as easy as it is. But let me tell you the other side. If you want to go into for pleasure all the time, you will lose a lot. A lot of things will pass by. When you are trying to know stock market, forex market is already available. When you are trying to catch up with forex market, cryptocurrency is already there. So when you are coming late in everything, knowledge moves faster than you. So the best thing is the moment they are talking about knowledge on point, get it, because you don't know the next thing. Now my feed, I'm into banking. I'm into banking. Somebody can stop you in the church and say, please, sir, what is it all about email? Now your work, because the person I've seen you as all-knowing, the person I've seen you as the banker, he wants to know. Can you imagine when you now tell the person, well, I don't even know what central bank is telling you. I don't know. Don't worry. Maybe another time I will tell you. You have lost some points. You have lost credibility, or all the ego, all the where they have placed you before, they will drop you. So that is why you acquire such knowledge and make sure that you get abreast with latest information, latest knowledge, especially in your field.
Okay, your point is well received, and I think it's essential to note for all of us. I would say this: we have a lot of people who struggle with you know, they're not sure that this whole education thing is worth it, or maybe they might have challenges at work. Maybe like you were saying, you haven't had a pay raise in 2 years or 3 years, and you are going every day and giving your best to the office, but nobody seems to give a hoot. Or, it could be something else, like, more personal. Maybe your boss doesn't like you, which happens, How would you say, what kind of advice would you give to people who find themselves in that place?
Okay, when we find themselves, what I will advise them is, there's no perfect system. And every system is also in between. You might not know the manager of your company where you work. You might not know their decision, their plans. They might even have greater plan ahead, what you are thinking of. And more so, for example, during the pandemic, you might be working hard, there's no pay rise, but you can actually understand that this thing has actually affected so many companies. A lot of people even lost their job. For you to have your job, so you should understand your managers that, okay, because of this is happening. So you keep having patience, keep working. You know one thing about law of nature, if they are not looking, they are not seeing you, God is also seeing you.
True.
And so law of nature turns around to favor you because you are diligent, you are hardworking. And at times people don't know how God works. Now you might be expecting a pay rise in that work, but God might be arranging a pay rise outside the work.
There you go.
Because of what you are doing. Because you're actually sowing a seed. There might be a help somewhere outside that will make you not to feel that impact of neglect or stagnation for a while. So my advice purely for them is not even easy to jump from one place to another. You can jump into fire. You can jump into calamity. You can jump into problem. So it's not even easy to say, okay, let me quit this job and start my business either. Even in the area of business, you can go and buy your goods and your load will fall, your load will disappear. A lot of things also involve risk. So it is not as easy as it is. You can even venture into a profitable business, but at the end of the day, it goes bad. So what will you do to yourself? Will you sack yourself? No. So what you do, you buckle up and move ahead. So my advice for them is yes, in the workplace, because you are not on the top, you don't know what is actually happening. So at times you keep working, one day it will happen.
Thank you very much. That's very encouraging. And we won't forget to make sure to develop ourselves on the side, because that also helps. Lastly, I see you mentioned God a lot as in what we've been talking about. What do you think? Do you think your faith has helped you in your career, in your life? Do you think it's an important aspect of it?
Yes, the most important. God is the source. He's the creator of everything. He's the manufacturer. Without him, we cannot even exist. Every of our plan, every of our thoughts, every of our forecast, if you remove God from that equation, we are nothing. We can only aspire, but God is the one that fulfills his agenda. Let me even tell you, shock you what happens to a human being. We dream a lot, we have visions. At times, God knows the best for you. He knows what he wants. So that is why you must always go back to God. Until God says yes, you move. If he doesn't say, you stay where you are. It's more dangerous to embark on a journey when God is not there. So I believe as a Christian that God is everything totally. Let me even tell you, God can take your life. So all your aspiration, all your academics,
I want to die.
All your studies, everything, where will it be?
Not much good, that's for sure. Not much.
So
good.
you have no choice to do anything. So you can plan. You can even sleep this night and plan against tomorrow. And who told you that you wake up?
Yeah, there's no guarantees, I know.
Simple. So that is why we must fall back to God, because He is the same. For helpers to come, for connectivity to come, it's also God that made provision for that. So it's important. I must tell you, I'm a believer. I've been ordained as a pastor for the
Oh,
past.
wow, that too. You add all this to, oh, wow, this is amazing.
Yes,
Okay.
for the past 12 years, I've been
You
ordained a
have time for
pastor.
that.
So
Wow.
I pastor. If you go to my YouTube page, you see all my messages.
No, wow,
The pastor.
that's very interesting. That's very interesting. Well, we know our people don't have a very long attention span, so we'll have to kind of wrap this up so that you two can get to bed and get some sleep. Uh, to wrap it up, I just wanted to ask: do you actually have anything you do for pleasure? You sound like you're always working and reading and studying, and so can you give us a sense of what you do for pleasure?
For pleasure, I must confess to you, I attend church activities.
Okay, mostly.
Mostly, yes. I attend church activities. I love my weekends. Because of my tight week, I devote my Saturday, Sunday for church activities.
Oh,
I
okay.
love to be around church, one meeting or the other after service, just be involved in things in church. I love that. Then again, I like meeting friends, very important friends. Yes, I like meeting friends a lot because I believe after God is people.
Hmm.
God will only send people to change your life. So
Oh,
I like
that's interesting.
to connect people a lot. I like to connect with people a lot. Every help, every connection you need, God will provide for you is in the hand of people. So I like to connect. You know, there's this story. If you hate mathematics teacher, you will fail mathematics.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the best thing, the easiest way to pass mathematics is to like the teacher. So since you know that God will use men as helper at connection. So you love men. So I like meeting people, I like interacting with people, I like exchanging ideas.
Oh, wow. Thank you for
And
sharing your.
I also like football. I watch football.
I was
I'm a
waiting for
man.
that. But yeah, but you won't sacrifice your
No.
self-development for football, I guess.
I watch when most convenient.
Yeah. I
If
mean,
I don't watch it, I have other things I need to do.
yeah, which is important for people to know. You know, this whole thing does not mean that you don't have a life, you don't have fun, you don't. But you have to prioritize is the main thing. And so we are very grateful for you giving us this time, and we hope that your story, you know, especially the fact that you came from very humble beginnings, will inspire people who have more than you have to work better with what they have in their hands. To understand that life is not a joyride. You actually have to take responsibility for the trajectory you want to see in this life. So, Dr. Friday Moses, thank you very much for your time, and I wish you a most pleasant week ahead, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. for having me. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you again. Thank you. Bye.